Hello and welcome. I would like to discuss a chapter entitled Introduction from the book Universe of the Mind, a Semiotic Theory of Culture. This book is originally written in Russian by Yuri Lotman. The chapter of introduction that I will be discussing here today is written by Umberto Eco. It is an introduction to the English translation of the book, which is translated by Anne Zuckerman. So let us begin with the basic introduction to the author Umberto Eco, who was an Italian medievalist, philosopher, semiotician, novelist, cultural critic, and political and social commentator. In English, Eco is best known for his novels. Eco wrote prolifically throughout his life, with his output including children's books, translation from French and English. At the time of his death, he was an emeritus professor at the University of Bologna, where he taught for much of his life. In the 21st century, he has continued to gain recognition for his 1995 essay over fascism, where Eco lists 14 general properties he believes comprise fascist ideologies. Coming to the chapter, this introductory chapter provides an overview of the work of Yuri Lotman, focusing on his contribution to semiotics and the history of culture. Eco attempts to explain how Lotman, initially influenced by structuralism, moved towards a more complex understanding of culture as a system of codes and text, ultimately developing the concept of semiosphere as a dynamic whole. The text explains how Lotman developed a more comprehensive semiotic theory that views culture as a complex system of interconnected sign systems rather than just individual devices or codes. The chapter stresses on Lotman's interdisciplinary approach and his insightful analysis of cultural typologies and concepts. Eco states that two very important intellectual movements erupted in European academia during the 60s. The first one is called semiotics or semiology, and the second is structuralism. Eco also differentiates semiotics from structuralism. He says semiotics is the study of the entire range of science systems and communication processes, while structuralism is a method that has proven useful for analyzing linguistic and cultural systems. He also notes that all semioticians may not use structuralist method. For Lotman, considering the whole semiosphere as a single mechanism is necessary because understanding its various aspects is only possible by viewing it as a unified entity, not just a collection of individual parts. The key terms discussed in this specific chapters are these. The first one, semiotics or semiology. Normally, semiotics is used by the American followers who study science, while semiology is mostly used by the followers of French study of science. So, mostly Saussurean followers use the term semiology, while Persian followers use the word semiotics. The study of signs and symbols and their use or interpretation encompassing the entire range of science systems and communication processes is known as semiotics or semiology. Structuralism, a method of analysis that views culture as analogous to language, emphasizing underlying structures and systems of relations. Russian formalism, a school of literary criticism originating in Russia in the late 1910s and 20s, focusing on the formal properties and devices or literary text rather than their content or social context. In formalism, a technique used by a writer to produce a specific effect, such as defamiliarization. So, the technique used by the writer is called device. Defamiliarization, a formalist concept referring to the technique of presenting common things in an unfamiliar or strange way in order to enhance perception and understanding. Prague School, a group of linguists and literary theorists active in Prague during the 1920s and 30s, known for their contributions to structural linguistics and phonology. Long on parole, a fundamental distinction in Saussurean linguistics. Long refers to the abstract language system or code, while parole refers to individual acts of speaking or writing messages. Codes of message, concepts derived from information theory and structuralism. The code is the system of rules or conventions, and the message is the specific instance of communication encoded using that system. Primary modeling system, according to Yuri Lotman, the fundamental system by which we apprehend the world. And this fundamental system, is the language. So, according to Lotman, our languages are our primary modeling systems. Secondary modeling system, other semiotic systems other than language, such as myth, cultural rules, religion, art, and science, which build upon and organize the primary modeling system, that is language, to offer different ways of understanding and talking about the world. Typology of culture, a study of different types of classifications of cultures based on their underlying semiotic systems and rules. Grammatical learning, a mode of learning a system like language or culture by understanding its underlying rules and combining discrete units according to those rules. Textual learning, a mode of learning a system by being exposed to and imitating existing text, that is macro units, from which rules can be eventually be inferred. So this will be more of an implicit learning. Semiosphere, Lotman's concept of the entire semiotic space of a culture or continuum within which various semiotic processes occur, analogous to the biosphere. Creolization, the process of mixing different cultural codes and systems, resulting in contrast and hybrids. And synchronic approach, the analysis of a system like language or culture at a specific point in time without considering its historical development is called synchronic approach. When we analyze a system considering its historical development, it will be considered diachronic approach. So that is all from my side. Thank you.